Dear brothers and sisters, imagining heaven is like trying to comprehend infinity, an exercise that stimulates the mind and soul. Today, I want to share with you an extraordinary vision of Saint Don Bosco, a man of faith and holiness, who offers us a glimpse of that eternal beauty we all desire. But first, let me tell you that we should not fear death. Death is not the end, but the beginning of a journey towards the eternal embrace of the Lord. Listening to Don Bosco's vision will help us understand this truth better. Who was Don Bosco? Saint Don Bosco, known as Don Bosco, was a 19th century Italian priest, founder of the Salesian Society and the Daughters of Mary Help of Christians. He was a man dedicated to the care and education of young people, especially the poorest and most vulnerable. His life was an example of Christian love, dedication, and unwavering faith. He was also a mystic, and among his spiritual experiences, he left us a vision of heaven that is nothing short of astonishing. Don Bosco was born in 1815 into a poor peasant family. From a young age, he showed extraordinary intelligence and great piety. After becoming a priest, he dedicated himself entirely to the care of young people, founding oratories and schools to offer them a Christian education and vocational training. His life was full of miracles and visions, testifying to his deep communion with God. One of Don Bosco's most extraordinary visions was that of heaven.
On a quiet night, while lying asleep, I was taken by the Spirit to a place I can only describe as a fragment of heaven itself. It was a garden, but unlike any garden on earth. It was a place of inexpressible beauty, with lush trees laden with luminous fruits and flowers that shone with the most vivid colors imaginable. The sky was of such a pure and bright blue, a light that seemed to emanate from everything present. But what struck me most were the young people who populated this garden. They were countless, all full of a joy and happiness rarely seen in this world. They laughed, sang, and danced with a lightness that only souls free from all burdens can know. It was as if every laugh, every musical note expressed perfect praise. These young people were the boys I had loved and guided on earth, now transformed and glorified. Among these young people, I saw figures of light, angels, who joined them in perfect harmony. These angels were not distant or inaccessible. They were loving and kind, sharing in the joys of the young as if they were their brothers and sisters. I understood that these angels were the guardians of those pure souls who had watched over them during their earthly lives and now shared their eternal joy. The most surprising thing was the perfect harmony of this place. There was no trace of jealousy, envy, or discord among the young. Instead, there was a sense of brotherhood and unity that goes beyond human understanding. This harmony extended to all of creation. Animals, in numbers and varieties never seen before, moved freely and without fear, participating in the happiness of this place. I saw lions and lambs playing together, birds of 1,000 colors singing celestial melodies, and rivers of crystal-clear water flowing through flower-filled meadows. The music that filled the air was different from any earthly music. It was sweeter, more melodious, and seemed to rise spontaneously in a hymn of praise and worship. It was as if every musical note was a prayer, and every melody an act of adoration. I felt that this music was the expression of the divine love that permeated everything in heaven. Every creature participated in this eternal song, in a symphony of glory that celebrated the greatness and goodness of God. At the heart of this vision, I was overwhelmed by a sense of love and beauty so intense that it is hard to express in words. I longed to stay in that place of eternal peace, of perfect joy. However, it became clear to me that I had to return, to carry with me the memory of this vision, to inspire and comfort others with the hope of what awaits us. Our hope is not in vain. There is indeed a place of eternal peace and joy awaiting us, a place where love and harmony reign supreme. This hope is what we must carry in our hearts every day as we continue our journey on this earth. We must not fear death, for it is only the passage to this eternal bliss.
Dear brothers and sisters, the extraordinary words of Don Bosco offer us a wonderful testimony of heaven, the place we all aspire to reach at the end of our earthly lives. Don Bosco often repeated, "Work for the Lord. Heaven repays everything." This teaching reminds us that every effort, every act of love and sacrifice made for the Lord will have an eternal reward. We should not worry about the difficulties we face every day, because by working for the Lord, we will receive what we need and be rewarded in ways we cannot even imagine. Don Bosco was convinced that faith and trust in God's mercy were fundamental to living a full and meaningful life. He taught his young people to always put God first, to seek holiness in every action, and to never be discouraged in the face of difficulties. His vision of heaven was a powerful incentive to persevere in faith and to live in a way that we are ready for the encounter with God. Don Bosco shows us that death is not the end, but the beginning of a journey towards the eternal embrace of the Lord. His vision invites us to live with faith and hope, knowing that there is a glorious destiny awaiting us. This awareness should fill us with joy and gratitude, for we know that every suffering and every trial in this life is only temporary and prepares us for eternal glory. Dear brothers, let us know in the comments what you think of Don Bosco's extraordinary vision, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos and to help us spread the message of Christ. May the light of God illuminate our path.